Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have huge breaking news. This is literal breaking news. This just came out. So I don't have every single detail, but I'm going to give you as much as I know at this point. Before I get into this, please do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button below this video. It is free for you. It really helps the show. So I greatly appreciate it. So here is what's going down. This is news out of the Supreme Court. And for once, it's actual good news. So in a 7-2 vote, the Supreme Court of the United States determined that Donald Trump violated Venezuelans' due process rights. So this has to do, as I'm sure you all know and can determine, this has to do with all of the migrants that they have deported and sent to that hellhole of a prison in El Salvador, where they will never see the light of day again. Many of whom, as we now know and have learned, did absolutely nothing wrong, are not criminals, are not, gang members. So they have said they violated their due process rights because they were not given their day in court. The only two dissenters, which I'm sure you can probably guess, Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas. Typical. They're, Trump cucks. So what was surprising, though, is Donald Trump's picks, all of the people that he put on the Supreme Court, voted against him in this. So in addition to saying that they violated their due process rights, they also said that they are continuing to uphold the lower court's decision to block deportation of the Venezuelans. This is temporary. This is only until all of this gets ironed out. But they've said you cannot deport any more Venezuelans that you're accusing of being gang members until all of this is settled. And what they've done is they have instructed the lower courts, meaning the appeals court that this just came from, they have instructed them to review these cases and to determine what deportation procedures would actually comply with the Constitution. So they want them to determine, how is this all supposed to go down? Meaning, like, how much notice should these people be given before they're deported? Donald Trump and his administration was saying, 24 hours. We can just give them 24 hours notice, and that's good enough. So you have people who don't speak English in many cases, don't read English. They're shoving these documents in front of them to sign that are in English that they cannot read. They're lying to them, telling them that it says something that it does not. They're giving them no option. They're not, in many cases, allowing them enough time to find an attorney, speak with an attorney, find out what their rights are and what's going to happen to them. And then I should note, this opinion was drafted by Brett Kavanaugh, Mr. I like beer, Brett Kavanaugh, one of Donald Trump's appointees. And they wrote in this opinion, quote, "The government has represented elsewhere that it is unable to provide for the return of an individual deported in error to a prison in El Salvador, where it is alleged that detainees face indefinite detention. The detainees' interests at stake are accordingly particularly weighty. Under these circumstances, notice roughly 24 hours before removal, devoid of information about how to exercise due process rights to contest that removal, surely does not pass muster." So they're flat out saying, 24 hours, not going to cut it. This is not proper for due process. This shall not pass. You shall not pass. This shall not go on. I'm pleasantly surprised, but also at the same time very frustrated that the Supreme Court isn't just calling this, isn't just saying, no, here's what needs to be done. You need to offer, or allow 72 hours notice or 2 weeks notice or whatever the case. I'm upset and irritated that they're kicking this back down to a lower court, because you just know whatever that lower court says, Donald Trump is going to throw another tantrum. He's going to have another Trumper tantrum, and he is going to say, oh, this isn't correct. And this court is, liberal. And so I want to take it back to the Supreme Court. So we're going to end up right where we began. We're going to end up back in the Supreme Court again after the appeals court makes a decision. So they're going to be the ones that are going to have to adjudicate this again and determine whether or not the lower court is correct. So why not just make the decision? Just do it. Anyway, enough of my rant. All right, guys, I will let you know when or if I hear more, or when I hear more, because this is not going to go away, as I just said. We're going to be right back here again. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe if you have not. Please donate if you possibly can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.